Hi guys, salmon flies tonight, and what I'm going to tie for you is a little fly that has been working for me lately. It's a Calvin's Conebody, and it's a kind of Templedog-ish version of a Calvin's. So what I'm going to do is flame my inner black, whatever you have, and then I'm going to put on a fluorescent red cone onto that. Now these things are fished with a free swinging hook, which takes a bit of getting used to, but I guarantee you it works. So, having flamed the end of our inner tube, I'm just going to pass that back onto the needle. And then a little bit of super glue just to hold that in place. And I take my bright red cone and slide it back onto that. So that is going to be the body of the fly. Your line passes through like the needle is, and then your hook just literally sits out the back of it. And I suppose the advantage of this is that it gives you a short fly. With a little bit of weight. So it gives me something equivalent to maybe a size 10-ish tied on a hook, but then I can obviously alter single, double, treble, whatever you want out the back of it. So we add our tie-in thread there. And for the wing, I'm going to use the Calvin's colours, so red, orange and a magenta. So for the first wing, what I'm going to use is this, which is a bright red Arctic Fox body hair. And the reason for the body hair is because it's really soft. I'm just going to pull out the under-fur rubbish out of that, basically. Tie that down, one turn. And a little run of super glue on maybe 10mm. One turn across it with the wet super glue, one back. Pulled into place. Okay, so the super glue wrap will set. Now the cone, as you can see, is kicking this thing fairly straight up. Next, what I want to do is I'm going to take a bit of orange or copper light bright, and I'm going to tie that in, one turn across, pull back, one turn to hold in place. Tiny wee touch of glue. So what we'll do with this is we'll just sort of trim it, and it's sort of a taper, and that'll give us a bit of flash in the wing. Next I'm going to take a bit of bright orange Arctic Fox. It's just from the back of a mask, but again, body hair or whatever. If you don't have body hair, you can use tail hair. It's just a little bit stiffer. So again, flip it round, hold it in position, and a turn to hold it, little dab of super glue, wind back onto it. Now the other purpose of the super glue here is that all of our tie-in is going to be on a very short bit of inner tubing. There's no thicker tubings, so super glue and the tie-in thread here adds a little bit more strength. Now we're looking for a hot orange hen saddle feather, double that. Doubling is explained in another video in my techniques section. We tie that in by its tip, fold across it, again, a little dab of super glue, wind that on. What the super glue will do is it'll obviously fix that in, because we're trying to tie everything in with 1 or 2 turns here, but also when you're winding on this still wet, it stops things from slipping around the place, but it takes a bit of getting used to, and you don't want it wicking into the rest of your tying. Phew. Next, what we want to do is get a little bit of pearly flash in, so I'm going to use here this is a Mirage crinkle. I think this is a red one. Hard to tell with them, sometimes they just have sort of a sheen out. So 1 strand doubled back. So you can see we have 2 strands now, and that'll sit just under. You can put it on top if you want, the magenta portion. So next is our magenta fox wing. So I'm looking here for a softish, straightish bit of magenta fox, and this is going to go in slightly longer than those bits underneath. Get rid of the short rubbish, trim it to length, hold it in place pointing backwards and get a turn in. Now, all of these little butt tie-in sections help to kick our wing up. Again, a little touch of super glue, a couple of turns across, pull it back, turn over to fix it in place. Okay. So to finish this, we're going to go with jungle cock eyes. I'm going to take a couple of small jungle cocks from the tip end of a cape. I'm going to tie them in, one on each side, pointing forwards. So I'm just tying in on the little enameled portion, the second white portion. And they're pointing in forwards. You'll see the point of that in a second. So now I'm going to put on a dyed red badger hackle. Strip off the base of that, and specifically what I'm doing there is I'm stripping it back until the stalk itself starts to get a bit thinner and easier worked with. Take out the tip, find the last little bit of stalk, turn to hold it in place, and then super glue, another turn, fold it back, and before that dries, wind into it. A couple of turns on that tied in bit, and then drop forward onto essentially bare inner tube. Pull that back on itself, and a couple of turns and that holds it in place. So that is all of our tying done. It's time to finish the head. And on this one you can either pull that back, tie it off, no cone, or what I'm going to do here is I am going to put on a little gold sort of hybrid disc. put that on to my needle, and then I'm going to super glue 5-6 centimeters of my thread there and wrap to create a bleb. Then I'll just push the 2 jungle cock out and let that push them back. Trim off our thread. Pull it off. Trim off, leaving maybe 2 mil, and then flame that inner and that is our little Kelvin's Conebody finished. Now that fly is about 50 mil or so long. You can get them down to maybe 40 or maybe even a little bit less, but your tube hook, whatever you choose, sits back in here free swinging, and the Templedog type wing keeps that fly on an upright keel, and as I say, there's nothing attached from hook to tube itself, so when a fish takes, this just disappears out of the road and all that's left in the fish's mouth is the hook, so there's no hinging effect. But see, definitely very effective, and as usual, if you like what you've seen, like and subscribe using the buttons provided. Tell your friends, bring them along, and until next time, tight lines, and thanks for watching.